Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Hey, what is going on? Another episode, and my wife's looking at me funny because I sound the same in the beginning of every episode. Just about. What you thinking?
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't be a hater. Don't want to be a hater no more. You're not a hater. You just
Hustling?
no.
I can't remember what he said.
He said really is don't be a player no more. But I changed it. Moving right along. Welcome to another episode of Loveology Podcast. I have my lovely wife sitting here looking all beautiful and stuff. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing well.
Another day?
How are you?
Another dollar? I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready. We getting ready for the holidays?
Yes, we're getting ready to do some major traveling.
Some moving and grooving?
Some moving and shaking.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I hope, all you guys and gals out there for the holidays, the end of the year, time to reflect, time to do all that good stuff. Just be safe, and it's about to close another decade, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to 2020.
Can you believe it?
But you better believe it, because it's coming.
Yes, it is.
And
it's going to be better than the last 10 years.
Sure is. Shoot, we're going to make sure of that. So, babe, what are we talking about tonight?
We talking about
or today, good morning, whatever.
We're talking about married with some crumb snatchers.
Married with the chillins.
That phrase was always kind of funny to me, crumb snatchers.
Mm-hmm.
But our son is the epitome of a crumb snatcher.
Literally, he's a crumb snatcher.
Like, I just have to constantly sweep the floor because he's going to find the smallest crumb to pick up.
Put it in his mouth.
He's got eagle eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's just always finding something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, as I get older, it seems like I, since we're talking about married with children, just seems how you can just kind of more and more relate to Al Bundy. Love and marriage, love and
I never really watched that show, so I've seen a couple of episodes, but we didn't watch it.
Came on Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just didn't. That wasn't our channel.
It's a pretty good show. He was a shoe salesman, and he drove a hoopty.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was a shoe salesman at one point. I was like, dang.
But he seemed pretty miserable, though.
Yeah, he did seem miserable. I really didn't understand why he didn't like Peg so much, but Peg actually looked pretty decent to me. You know what I'm saying? But he was miserable. Oh, Peg. Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch. See, I didn't even know that was a thing, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew they bickered and fought, but
yeah, he didn't too much care for Peg.
Okay. His wife, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're not like that. Right?
Not at all. But we do have some crumb snatchers.
Oh, yeah.
So before we get started into today's episode, I want to remind you that we do have a live discussion, and it's every Wednesday, and it's at 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. We discuss the episode. So you're getting ready to listen to this episode. Make sure you pay attention, because once you join our live discussion on Wednesday, only on Facebook, I'm going to ask some questions towards the end, and you get a chance to spin the wheel if you answer 2 of the questions correct. And we had on the wheel, we had $100 slot, and we had a few winners. We had James won $100. Ambria won $100, and Fuchs won $100. So shout out to all three of those $100 winners. But they won it by simply listening to the Loveology podcast and just chiming in on the live discussion and answering a few questions. So make sure y'all be there, be square this Wednesday coming up. Check it out. Be there, be square. Facebook live. So let's jump right into this episode.
So yes, we are talking about being married with children, and just being in a relationship and how children affects your relationship. Now I can say I was doing some research as usual, and the research was kind of making me a little depressed. I'm like, geez, people are just like really upset when they have kids. Like, I mean,
it's definitely a game changer though.
Your life definitely changes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, I don't know. The way they describe it on the internet is like, well, geez, you guys I wouldn't want to have a kid after reading this. You know what I mean? But I just think that as everything in life, it's all about your mindset.
Yes.
And how you enter something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we do so part of that is being realistic about certain things.
Right.
And just understanding and preparing
that
your
the
life.
Key word right there, preparing.
Yes.
Preparation.
Mm-hmm. Your life, you know that your life is going to be different. You will need to make some sacrifices.
Yes.
You will be required to give your children a lot of time and attention.
Yes.
And if you understand these things going into it, then you shouldn't have any problems. Just set your mind, get your mind right.
Right.
Get it right.
I think that's why, the good Lord, he made it last, the pregnancy to last for about 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to need all that time to get prepared.
That's still not enough time.
It's not, but you're going to need all that time,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, to be prepared, to get prepared or try to get prepared for this new person that's coming and about to take over your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, each time it's like, the first one is a big shocker. You know what I'm saying? You have one kid.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, when you had that second kid
was...
It's a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah. Because you already got one to take care of.
Yeah.
So.
And depending on what age they are, man, I pray for the people that have them back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you getting them out the way, but Jesus,
mm-hmm.
you gonna lose a little bit of screws.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems like it just stacks on, times two, and
mm-hmm.
then you have a third child, forget about it.
But some people can have 5 children with so much ease because, like I said, I just think they're more prepared. I think they already know. Like sometimes I'm watching these moms on YouTube, and
mm-hmm.
They just got a whole system in the way that they household runs. They understand, they know better how to run their household, possibly because they came from a big family.
Yeah.
And they just make it work, right? And it's stressful, but they know how to make it work, and it's fine.
A lot of that knowledge, like you said, they come from big families, mm-hmm. possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that knowledge is passed down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know about you,
mm-hmm.
but I ain't get no knowledge passed down.
I had a lot of knowledge, but that's why I made you go to at least, pregnancy classes with me. And
well, you talking about just knowledge in general for kids. I'm talking about knowledge passed down to raise multiple children, like 5 and 6
mm-hmm.
children, kids at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's unique, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the families are become smaller and smaller. You know what I'm saying? I think.
It just depends. It depends. Some people have always had a lot of children, and some people haven't.
Yeah.
So the moms that I look at on YouTube, they're actually like Mormon moms.
Yeah.
That have 5 children.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it like a stereotype, but I think statistically Mormons do have more children.
Yeah. No birth control.
I don't know if that's what the thing is. Okay.
What else would it be?
I don't know.
I
don't want to speak on it. Mormon faith. I don't know. You know. So, but I just know that
Catholics too.
The Catholics, yes. So anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like to see how they make it work with 5 children, 8 children sometimes, and they're of the same, religion. So normally they have a lot of siblings, so
Right.
they remember how their mother did, and really they make their children very responsible.
Oh yeah.
Not too early. I don't think it's too early. Like, I think that a kid can make up their bed at 5 years old. Like, I think
Sure.
instead of mom doing it, you teach your children to do
Sure.
it. It teaches them responsibility, and hey,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it doesn't have to be perfect, but just that act of like, no, make up your bed,
Yeah.
right?
Do something.
Yeah. Help me fold the towels.
Yeah.
That's nothing but helpful,
Right.
I think. And for them, to learn discipline and some more stuff. But anyways, we have totally digressed.
No, we talking about.
Well, we're
kids.
talking about what we're talking about, but so yeah, let's just begin with Jason and I have 2 children.
Yes.
We have a 4-year-old,
I
almost 5.
I got a secret one over in England.
You better not, Jason. And then we have one that just turned 1.
Yes.
And they are so wonderful.
They are.
And they keep us on our
15%
toes.
of the time.
Oh, so you're one of these people that's on the internet that's like having children is like so hard and like the most, I don't want to say horrible thing, but a really difficult thing.
I think in a marriage
Mm-hmm.
or in a relationship in general, I think kids are the most challenging thing in a relationship.
Okay.
If you have them, right? Can you agree to that?
Why is that? No.
You don't think they're the most challenging thing in a relationship if you have kids?
I mean, it depends on the relationship.
Well, maybe so.
Well, I mean, what you're saying.
Let's talk about our relationship. We can speak for us. In our relationship, do you feel like what is the most challenging thing about our relationship? It's kids, the top 3.
I don't like the word challenging.
I mean, they are challenging.
I guess.
Because, I mean, you got to feed them. You got to teach them. You got to watch what you do.
But I think my mindset about it is better than yours.
Okay. Well, how do you say it's better? Like,
well, maybe I was just aware.
Different.
Well, I was just always very aware, more aware than you, of how much work children are.
Right.
So, like I said about expectations or whatever.
Yeah, just to set the stage. I had just one brother, and he was an older brother. And so I was the baby, and I left I left Dallas when I was young to stay with my grandmother. So I was like a hybrid baby / only child. So yeah, I ain't have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
But Ashley, on the other hand, she had a lot of, she had brother, sister, and some cousins and all that good stuff. So they have a bigger family than we do. So yeah, you have more experience, with that. But yeah, I don't have any. I didn't have any whatsoever.
Right. So it's understandable. So, but for me, it don't feel like it's difficult, right? But because I already expected that, and it just is what it is. Is I don't know if it's like, I mean, I guess challenging. I guess you look at the definition of the word challenging.
Exactly.
But it's I don't know. I just had a more realistic and more accurate expectations than you did.
Do you think it would be harder for a couple, if a couple, let's say you have 2 babies of the families, you know what I'm saying? The girl is the youngest and the guy's the youngest. Do you think it'll be more challenging for them, or even two couples that are only child? You know what I'm saying? The only children of their families. Do you think that'll be hard for them?
It just depends on the couple, first of all. But I think that as long as they research and prepare themselves, then it could be, I don't think that they're at that much of a disadvantage if they just, like I said, research and get an understanding somehow. Like, there's other ways to get an understanding of what type of attention you're going to need to give your child besides having siblings, I feel like.
Okay.
But you have to be proactive and actively seek out that information.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
but what you're saying is, in accordance to what I was finding online as far as people's marriages and relationships experience a sharp decline in happiness with
Dang.
the relationship after they have children. But like I said, I just think that it that expectations has a lot to do with that. And then one of the things that they were saying is, in a relationship with or without children, one of the things that help keep the relationship successful is your ability to communicate and your ability to negotiate out of certain situations, right?
Right.
And so when a child comes into the picture, there's just a lot more things for you to negotiate now,
Right.
right? Like, now we got to talk about discipline. Now we have to talk about sleep training, whether or not you agree with that or not, or how you want to sleep train.
Right.
You just have to talk about a lot, a lot of things more than if it was just you and I,
Right.
obviously. So that was one of the major factors, and I definitely think that, of course, we've had our arguments, but we in general communicate with each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
So that has definitely helped us in our journey in parenthood.
Communication and trust, foundation of any relationship.
So let's just jump in for people who don't have children and don't know at all. But first of all, it starts with your pregnancy. We have an episode called Love and Pregnancy. Check that out.
Yeah.
But it definitely, parenthood starts with the pregnancy. Fathers, you need to be very involved.
Got to.
With
If you're a selfish type of person, if you're self-centered, you might not want to have any kids. What you think about that statement?
Well, I'm all for people, just really taking a realistic, a truthful examination of themselves.
Yeah.
If you do not want to have children, then you just need to say that, and then, take the proper steps. I believe more so in birth control,
Right.
and to not have children. Right. So,
because it's a lot of people, they be, throwing their babies away and
right,
stuff.
right.
I saw something some church put a baby drop box,
Yeah,
almost
they
like
have
a library.
those.
Yeah,
They have those now.
a church or something just installed one, and within that week, boy, a baby came.
Yeah, within the first
God.
few days, I think.
That's
Those are
crazy.
like safe zones to take your child.
Well, if you had a baby and you don't want the baby no more, definitely don't throw them away.
Yeah.
Give it.
Look into adoption.
Yeah.
Now we have those, like I said, they have those in a lot of states. I'm not sure if they're in all states, but, just a safe way for people to turn over their child if they don't want the child.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, you just need to decide and do some research and just decide whether or not this is something that you really want to do, because we don't want children being born and being, in a somewhere in a forest just left there. That's horrible. So yes, pregnancy. It starts with pregnancy. So check out that episode, but immediately after you push the baby out,
check out the previous episode we did,
the love and pregnancy episode.
Yes.
So after the baby is born, your job starts immediately. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's kind of a shocker too.
Right.
Yeah, because you have to transform immediately.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God.
Yes.
I remember the first night Joy was born, and I was just stayed up just watching her, making sure she's breathing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh my God. And then they released her
to us.
It was like, you sure? I don't know if we ready.
I don't get any more help. This is it.
Yeah.
I did natural childbirth, so we spent 2 nights I
think so.
2 nights in the hospital.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yes.
Anywho, it was snowing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was born in February, and we were in Virginia. Yeah. So yeah, it's like immediate, and like for the woman, I'm just like, oh Jesus, I'm super tired. I just pushed the baby out, but now I gotta breastfeed like every 30 minutes or something. Like, but Jason was a trooper. He jumped right on in and was changing diapers and swaddling her, and yeah, that's what I expect. That's what other women should be expecting, and that's what guys should be ready to do. Okay,
Right.
like this whole men don't change diaper stuff. I don't know what I don't know what the problem is or who came up with that, but I wish Jason would have. I wish you would.
No, 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 no. Look. I already have much respect for women.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are most high, right? But when I saw my wife go through how many hours of labor did she?
Jordan, it was like 20 something hours.
20 some hours in that labor, natural, no medicine, nothing. I understood why they call it labor, because what we do on the job, there's nothing that's not labor. You know what I'm saying? That's not Labor Day. They not talking about. Yeah, that ain't. They shouldn't have that for working a job. No, Labor Day should be for women giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's work for hours nonstop.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So my respect just shot through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So once you see that as a man, I mean, come on, changing a diaper,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Staying up to make sure everything is good, come on, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you don't have to look at the baby coming out. I don't recommend it. I didn't. But
How you don't recommend it?
I don't know.
That's just your personal.
Yeah, I ain't want to see it. I'm good. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying?
And I was fine with that. We had a conversation about what he wanted to. I had heard that sometimes men kind of see their wives differently when they see a baby coming out of that area. So he was like, it's okay. He can be up there near my head, holding my hand.
But I wasn't holding her hand. I was actually holding her leg. They had me holding her leg like I'm a wrestler, pinning her for the 3 count. For the WWF championship. I'm saying WWF. Forget that WWE.
They was like, Dad, you got that leg. The nurse had the other leg, and the doctor was down there. It was 3 of us. It was what? How many is that? 4 of us in there.
Yeah, actually pushing. Shoot. But anywho, yeah. Once you see that, you're gonna want to help. But go for it.
Yeah, so good. I mean, that's how it should be for sure. We made this child together. This is both of our a child, so we need to raise this child together. So hopefully, you all have, as a couple, have talked about that. Like we get past that part, because that is the issue. And most of the work does still fall on the woman, especially if you're breastfeeding, right?
Right.
I can pump and make you feed the baby with the bottle or whatever, but still, majority of it is going to fall on me just because of that.
Right.
So men need to be helping out in any way, shape, or form, right? Yep. But as women, something that me and Jason had to, really dig into is that the man or whoever may not do it exactly the way that you would want them to do it, whatever it is that they're doing, changing the child's diaper, or I don't know. So sometimes women can be very particular about how they want something done. Right. And sometimes it's like, forget it, I'll do it because you're not doing it right.
Right.
So sometimes I had to learn how to chill out, relax. It's like, no, he's not going to do it exactly like me. My main thing was, is he being safe? You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but is he being safe?
Right.
If he's being safe, then I'm going to let him do what he does. Right. And because I'm not the one doing it. And sometimes you just have to let it be. It's like, no, he can figure it out. He needs to do it. As long as he's being safe. Right. I can't think of a specific example. Do you remember?
I was safe. So, you know what I'm saying? You ain't have to worry about that with me.
Yeah, you were pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And so we just need to, you hear people say a lot that you learn as you go with children. But just want to go back to that is true. You do learn as you go, but you do also need to be prepared.
Right.
So there's
as much
lots
as
of
you can.
yes, as much as you can. Why not?
Because you can't prepare 100%.
Right.
But the more you prepare, the easier the transition.
Absolutely. So I think that we did do a little bit of research, but I was mainly, it was like the first 3 months that I was kind of prepared for. But after that, I had to kind of learn as I went.
Yeah.
Especially with breastfeeding, I wish I would have been more prepared because that was very difficult. Mm-hmm. And I had a much easier time with our second child because I had already gone through it with the first child. But I feel like if I would have took a few more classes or something, then that would have been an easier transition for me.
Right.
But instead, it was very hard.
Right.
It was very hard. So anybody considering breastfeeding, like, it's hard. You need to get a lactation consultant on deck.
Right.
You need to take some classes. You need to get around some other women who have breastfed, and you need some support.
Right.
So that's one of the other tips that we're going to talk about later is getting, your emotional, social support as something that will help. So one of the first stressors that happen when you have a child is lack of sleep.
Yeah. Number one.
Yes.
Number one. Yeah. So if you was a party animal in college or your younger years, or really, probably the best time to have some kids when you're young. Because you have
still full of energy.
Yeah. Energy. But if you like in your 30s.
Mm-hmm. We were in our 20s, late 20s.
Shoot.
You were 30?
Yeah, I think I was right.
You were 30.
30 mark.
And I was in my late 20s.
Yeah, so, I wasn't a spring chicken.
Like you. Yes. 30 is not. You act like you 50 years old or something. Jeez, come on.
But yeah, it's gonna be some late nights, man.
Oh yeah, but I think we dealt with that pretty well.
Yeah, man.
But Jason was not. You were working, but not working outside of the home at the time.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a major help. I don't know how he would have did it if both of us was working at the same time.
You wouldn't be able to do
it. Because Jason stayed up a lot and let me sleep. I had to go back to work after 6 weeks because I was in the military. And now
before they made the change.
Yes, now they give 3 months.
Don't you know that they passing some law where they giving like paid parental leave for government jobs now?
Great.
Yeah. After we didn't have the baby. And I had to use up my leave, but whatever. Crap.
So yes, I'm happy for everybody who's getting it. Praise the Lord. Like, it's great, Jason's like, but yeah, we didn't get it. So I had to go back to work.
We got hosed twice.
It's okay, but we made it do what it do, right?
Yeah.
Like we always do. So I had to go back to work 6 weeks. And Jason would let me sleep, and he would, stay up with the baby or whatever. What would you do to keep yourself company?
Play the game.
Play the video game. And, and so I was able to, get a little bit of sleep to go to work. But
then I would cook you breakfast in the morning.
You did that for like 2 weeks or something.
Man, at the end of the day, you was eating good.
No, I'm still kind of disappointed with that.
What? That's better than nothing.
You cooked me breakfast when I was pregnant.
I cooked you breakfast when the baby was here too.
Okay, well, we don't have to argue about that. But basically, we jumped right in being a team. So this is like number one tip, right? You are a team.
Ungrateful little sucker. I'm disappointed. You're gonna be disappointed in some hot food
because you just gave up. You just gave up on giving me my hot, nutritious breakfast.
I don't remember that.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so yes, we were a team. That's the way you got to see it because that's what it is, and you just have to work together. Both of you gonna miss some sleep, but one person shouldn't be missing all the sleep. Okay, right. Like, let's work together and let's try to help each other get rest. Both of us are tired. Both of us are doing a lot, so let's help each other. Mm-hmm. That's the mindset you should have there.
Okay.
Okay. which I thought we did a really good job. So the other thing, speaking of like, both people doing stuff, the other problem that arises, the other stressor that arises is division of labor.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, a lot of times, a lot of stuff falls on women, and we need to, change that. But Jason did a pretty good job. So all of the work basically gets doubled. There's more clothes to be washed. There's more dishes to be washed.
More food to cook.
More food to cook. More food to prepare. And so, hey, if the woman was doing a lot before, that it's time for you to learn, and it's time for you to step in and help, because, it's just too much.
And every bit counts. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can do, dads or, significant others, whatever you can do will help. It'll help out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I first started washing the dishes, even though I was throwing them in a dishwasher. But the fact that Ashley would unload the clean dishes, that helped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think that it would help, but it did. So every little bit counts.
Yes, it helps tremendously.
Yeah.
And what else? Let's see. Was there any other things that you could think of?
No. That's the smaller babies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As we move on, no.
So one of the things that I also noticed was that, like, I feel like when you have children, your childhood comes back to your mind, and you start making decisions about your children based on your childhood and either what did or didn't happen. So if things come up that you and your spouse or significant other disagree on, I think that it's important to take the time to find out why your partner feels the way that they feel.
Right.
Because that could help solve issues.
Right.
If you just take that time to like really, really try to understand what is the deeper reason behind why they would like to do this.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with their childhood, but sometimes it does. So just going back to communication, as we were talking about, I meant to bring that up earlier about, negotiating all these different things and making decisions about this person's life. And that is a major factor in people making a decision about what they choose to do with their child.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some more reasons that, some factors that create stress. So one is that you have less time with your partner.
Right.
Again, some people don't have the proper expectations about how much time and energy it takes to raise a child. And so, yes, some of the time that you have with your partner will decline with just you guys alone. Like the kids will be there. But you just need to be intentional about making time with your partner.
Right.
And that's where your village comes into play, allowing other people to babysit your kids, or just simply making sure that your children have a good bedtime. Me and Jason have a lot of, we have a couple hours.
Yeah, that's key, man. You gotta get them kids to bed early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You having them, I know it's easier to let them stay up late, but the thing is, it actually will cause a little bit more stress, because they're sleepy, and the kids, when they get sleepy, it's like they're drunk. So they flipping around and running around, hollering, and they may fall and hurt themselves. And it's just easier to just, in the long run, to go ahead and just get them to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get them in a routine, whether it's giving them baths or whatever. Get them in some type of routine and get them in the bed. And then you'll have time to watch a movie or to really have adult conversations with your spouse or your mate, and just spend some one-on-one time that's desperately needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think that's key.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that. And I don't think we always was pretty good at that, but we figured out that was like an awesome time for us to have by ourselves, and we definitely spend that time together
Right.
after we get the kids in the bed.
Right.
And yeah, we get to cuddle and do some other stuff.
Right.
So, but yeah, so again, going back to those expectations, like yes, it is gonna be intense, especially from our last 5 years have been intense, right? Like when they're a baby, toddlers, it requires a lot of time and a lot of your attention. So just get that in your mind and figure out, ways to make time. Just be intentional about it.
And it's evolving too. You know what I'm saying? Because your child is evolving. So you have to evolve as a parent. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
just, keep that in mind. Don't think it's just going to be the same. No, it's going to switch up.
Right.
And you got to be flexible. You got to be patient, and you got to be determined and just eager to learn, because each month is a new milestone. And it's just more stuff that you have to learn, to protect, to teach, and to, just help your child move right along properly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so adding to that, basically, the other thing is that you need a lot of patience. If you don't have patience, you better figure out how to develop it really fast if you're having some children, because you need patience for your children, and then you need patience for your partner because they don't know everything, and you need patience for yourself.
Right.
So patience is all around. Let's just throw patience everywhere because
y'all be surprised of how much I had to teach Ashley.
Oh my God. I know y'all know that's a lie. What did you have to teach me, honey?
Nothing.
You do have good daddy instincts, though.
Yeah, I try to tell you.
I can't remember specifically, but there was a couple of times.
You didn't honor it at first when I was telling you.
No, I did. I did. But there's specifically some times that Jason was like spot on with his daddy instincts, and I didn't argue with you. One time it was like you were like rubbing our daughter's stomach, and you was like rubbing it in a particular circular motion, and then we went to the pediatrician, and she kind of gave that as like something to help her digestion.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's what I've been doing. I've been rubbing it. And didn't nobody have to tell me that.
Yeah. That's what I do, man. Because it's, how the digestive tract is put in your body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you just figured that out. Like, she seemed like she having a hard time. Let me rub her tummy.
Yeah.
In this particular direction.
Yeah. Look it up, man. Look it up.
So people can become stressed out because we just have greater demands. It's a lot of responsibility to take care of a child. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you gotta bring in more bacon.
Yeah, that too.
You don't need to bring in some more cash.
Yeah,
get your side hustle on.
So yeah, let's talk about some tips.
Tips. Drop it
so
on me.
we've been spreading them out throughout the episode, so I hope you've been catching them. Expectations, get prepared, read books, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. You have to continually educate yourself on having children. And I just personally think that the more whole and the more healthy the parents are, mentally ready to do this thing, the better everything is going to be. So something as simple as getting the kids to bed on time, like you said, in the long run, it works out better for everybody because the child needs their sleep, and then they are going to stress you out because they're up, sleepy. Anybody who has children who knows when kids get overtired, they're crazy.
And then you sleepy.
Yes, and everybody's upset.
Patience short.
So you just have to focus. You got to do what you got to do. Get the kids in bed, and now everybody can have a relaxed evening because they're sleeping and you have a relaxed evening. So we just, as parents, we just have to make sure that we do what we need to do. And it requires attention. So, hey, listen, if you got money and you want to get a nanny to do that sort of stuff,
go for
more
it.
Power to it. But more power to it.
We about to need a nanny.
But listen, it needs to get done one way or the other.
Especially if y'all hear us getting pregnant for a third time, we calling all nannies. We looking for a nanny because we ain't doing 3 of them.
I would be fine, but I don't know about Jason.
So you said read books. So what's the book called? Happiest Baby on the Block?
Happiest Baby on the Block.
That's
yeah.
a book. And
I
then
read that.
What's it
That's
like
for babies, but I'm just saying it's even a lot of resources out here to give you more tips. So we're giving you some tips on things that you can do to keep your relationship healthy with children.
Yeah.
But there's so many. Just do a quick Google search, get some tips, apply that knowledge. There's just so much stuff out here to help you keep your relationship healthy with your spouse or
Right.
partner.
Right.
You can do it.
You can if you want to.
But it requires focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think that people think that, oh, we're just going to add a child to the equation and nothing's going to change.
Shoot.
Or I don't have to work harder, or I don't have to no. You got to work harder. You got to focus. You got to be patient. You have to be very, very consistent, because children like really thrive when they have routines and consistency, and stuff like that. If you focus on that stuff and focus on spending personal, time with your partner, despite all of the other time that you're using for your children, then, it'll be fine. But you have to make it a priority to not neglect your relationship. That's this is the next tip. Okay.
Right.
You have to, yes, like I said, make it a priority not to neglect your relationship. Be intentional about keeping the relationship strong, because the studies show the stronger the bond is between the parents, the better everything goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that oxygen mask, in the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
They say, parents, put your mask on first and then put your child's mask on, because guess what? You can't help your child if you're passed out.
Right.
So it's the same thing. You cannot really help your children unless you are whole. And the better that your relationship is with your partner, the better that your child's life is going to be.
Right.
And sometimes that means leaving a relationship. I'm not saying stick it out for the kids, because kids can also
be affected.
Yeah, they can sense, anytime I hear.
I mean, think about it. Let's say you are, you and your significant other are like beefing, like y'all just not getting along at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So whether your kid know it or not, if y'all contemplating divorce, but your kid can see how y'all interact with each other.
Right.
And so, whether, the lack thereof, they may feel like, well, that's how a marriage is. You know what I'm saying? And so you're giving them the wrong impression. And so you think you sticking it out for them to help them, but actually in the long run, you're hurting them. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are not happy. Mm-hmm. And not everybody feels love. You can feel it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember they did like a little test. They was like had 2 plants, and one plant they spoke nicely to the plant, right? And the plant grew, and it produced, and it was nice and green and all that good stuff. But the other plant, they talked down, and they, it just, a lot of negative stuff was around that plant, and it died. So, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Your body can feel it. Your mind can feel it. So make sure that you're in a happy place while you're raising your kids.
Yeah.
Because you need that. That's a source to help sustain a healthy family.
Yeah.
Love is.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. That's another tip, is just like have fun. Like just be present. This is something I had to teach Jason, right, Jason?
Let me hear what you talk about.
Be
present. I'm present. What you talking about?
Well, you are present, but I mean like really present in the moment. Like you said, don't, it's a present. The present is a present or something. What's your little phrase?
You already said it.
Okay. So, Your children will grow like really, really fast. As they say, the days are long, but the years are short, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
That's
sometimes those
true, though.
days feel like, oh Lord, this is day ever gonna
It's
be
fly
over.
by.
But the years are just go by. I can't believe my oldest is almost about to go to kindergarten. Like, I'm gonna cry. Like, she goes
Shoot.
because it just.
So how long they keeping them?
I
8
just
hours?
feel like she was just a baby yesterday.
Shoot.
So I heard a mom say, don't wish for the next stage. Like, she would say, oh, I can't wait till they start walking. Oh, I can't wait till they start feeding themselves. Oh, I can't wait to this. I can't wait to this. It's like, no, they're going to get there. Just enjoy the moment that you're in. Enjoy them not being able to talk and they just small and cuddly and just hanging on you.
Because you're going to miss it when it's gone.
Yes, because they're not one day. They're going to be grown, bigger than you, and off. and off out of the house. So just enjoy all the moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just have fun and know that this is like part of the journey. And just it's their mindset. Just think about the joy that they bring, and create positive memories. But this is something that I try my best not to do. Sometimes people just feel like they got to be doing something all the time, and that's another source of stress. It's like, oh, they got to be participating in 50 million activities and stuff. No, we gonna pick about 1 or 2 activities. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be stressing out, ripping and running, taking you everywhere. You need a couple of activities.
whatever your schedule can allow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have the flexibility at your job, or if you don't have a job and you're doing something else or whatever, if you have that flexibility to go to the recitals and do all this and that, man, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Because your children, they need you in their life, and they will love to see you at these different events and stuff. So try to get out there as much as you can, because that's going to help build the trust and just the foundation of your relationship with your child.
Yeah. So, but if you need to slow down, like, slow it down, right? Because you don't want to. We're not going. Me and Jason, we haven't like gotten to these years of all these activities. We're about to start getting there with my daughter turning 5.
Right.
But it's like, don't do too much sacrificing that you're putting your relationship in jeopardy. Right. Could you be doing something with your spouse alone time instead of signing your child up to their 6th activity?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we have to like find some balance. Sometimes they may need to miss out on some stuff, right? Like, it's okay. Maybe they're not missing out. They just need to like focus on a couple of activities, maybe. Like Jason said, if you got the flexibility, if you have the time, okay, great. But just make sure that you're not neglecting something else, so your child can be in 10 activities.
Right.
I'd rather spend some time with my husband than for them to be in 10 activities.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, we gonna get you in some activities, but we ain't got to do all that, right? Make sure that you have maintain your friendships and your family relationships, and keep that village strong. I think me and Jason, we got some trust issues, so we have a very, very small village.
I mean, we just not from out here in LA. That's what that is.
Yeah. Because we're just not around our family.
Yeah. So it's just what it is. We got Ashley Mama's here. She's a good help, and shout out to Miss Tanya. She was awesome. So it is what it is.
So yeah, I think this is this being too busy thing is where people fall into a trap, because you can just become like, that's when people say you're just going through the motions.
Right.
Because you're just so busy that you're not like thinking about anything. You're just going, taking care of the day-to-day grind, right? Just taking care of stuff. And sometimes, you just gotta slow that bus down.
Got to.
and focus on your relationship.
You're gonna ride that bus right off the road.
Yeah, and so sometimes people also they just talk about their children a lot. Like, and going back to this whole, keeping your relationship strong. Just make something simple. Just make sure that you're talking about other things, talking about your interests, talking about things that happen in your day, politics. Jason has finally gotten to politics, so we can talk about politics now.
Andrew Yang, 2020. Yang gang.
So yeah, what else do we talk about, Jason? We talk about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I mean anything.
But sometimes people like really get into these like the routine and they just only talk about the kids and they don't talk about life. They don't talk about their life, their interests.
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible.
No, it happens.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, talk about stuff. Yeah.
Another tip is to, make sure you get that good old date night in. Like I said, it's just mainly about time, right? Like this is what I guess I just keep going back to it. Another tip I was reading was saying, make sure that you thank your husband for doing stuff. Y'all just such babies, but this is like for real. It's like a meme that I saw where it's like what the husband does when he unloads the dishwasher and he just jumps up and throws his hand in there. It's like, I did it. I'm a champion. You know what I mean? And women, we just do this sort of stuff all the time with no thanks. There's something called invisible work that you guys just do not see. We just take care of so much stuff. And, we don't get a hand clap. It's such a double standard.
What do you mean? We're outside all the time. Like, babe, man,
you're doing a great job.
This is awesome.
But that's your love language. So I guess y'all just words of affirmation. Just, I got to say thank you. Thank you for washing the bottles, Jason. Thank you for doing this. But, it's your child too. Okay. So this is just something like a personal experience that I had to stop myself from doing. I stopped asking Jason to help me. Or was it help? What word was I using that I stopped?
Yeah, could you help me with this?
Yeah, because you're not helping me. You're just doing what you should be doing because you're the dad.
Well, technically, it's like, both we're parents. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, well, let's divvy up these parental duties. You know what I'm saying?
Divide and conquer.
When you're saying, could you help me? That's saying like, hey, I own 100% of these duties, and could you help take some of this off of me? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta set the expectations from the jump.
Yes, I'm happy I remember that because that is the mindset that women sometimes we place it on ourselves because that's just what we've been trained to do. Yeah, it's like I gotta take care of all this stuff. I was giving Jordan a bath all the time, and Jason, I just thought like one day,
I was working though, babe.
Well, during that time,
let's set the stage properly.
Well, during that time, no, I'm talking about after you start working because that's when we had the conversation.
I get it, but set the stage because once you start a routine, that's how it happens.
So Jason was working like a maniac to earn the money. So,
sometimes 14, 15, 16, 17 hours.
And that's what he had to do. It wasn't by choice.
Right.
We just, hey, we are here trying to make a living. We got bills to pay. This is the situation that we're in right now.
Right.
So
Ashley was going to school.
Yes. Lots of people are in this situation. And
hold on, let me throw this out there too, because it was a whole month that I didn't get off. I worked an entire month.
Yes, you
I worked a month.
And what did Ashley do?
I'm not saying that you didn't do anything.
I didn't say that you were saying that. All I'm
saying is I worked a month. You know what I'm saying? At the end
I worked
of the
like
day.
8 months when I was deployed.
But see what I'm saying? Why it always gotta be a battle? It ain't. Why you trying to fight me over this? Like, it's not a comparison. Okay, I just want you to set the stage. But why you was giving her a bath?
Yes.
If I'm starting off working like all the time, it was sometimes I didn't even see Jordan up. She wasn't even awake. It was weeks that went by that when I woke up, she was asleep. When I come home, she was asleep. And I wake up, go back to work, she sleep. Come back home, she sleep. And that'd go for a week and a half.
Well, praise the Lord, that didn't have to last that long.
Yeah. Yes. So go ahead with your story.
So, I just want to add that knowing this, I did take on a lot of the responsibilities. My mama was here to help me. But I took on most of the child rearing responsibilities
Yeah.
because of the situation that we were in. So team player, Jason cannot, he's got to do this to pay the bills. So I gotta suck it up and take on most 98% of the taking care of this child's needs.
Right.
And I would also do nice things like make sure you had lunch,
Yes.
make sure you have dinner every day.
Yes.
Sometimes breakfast. I don't know if I ever did breakfast, but for sure I made your lunch
Yeah.
and your dinner.
At that time, my breakfast was pretty much the leftovers from last night.
Was it?
Mhm.
Okay.
I eat a hearty meal in the morning. I needed that energy.
Yes, he was like super skinny. He was delivering mail, so
I
you
was
dropped a lot of
super
weight.
skinny.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about being a team. Sometimes you may have those moments. Being together forever is a long time, and sometimes you may have those moments in your partnership that hey, it's gonna be unfair. It was unfair to him that he had to work that much. It was unfair to me that I had to do most of the baby stuff, right?
Right.
But we just got to do what we do. He making the money. I'm taking care of the baby.
Right.
So now, after he was no longer doing that, now it's time to equal this thing out because mama got to go to work too, right?
Right.
So I'm working. He's
working still.
He's working still, but not working as much. So we need to come back and renegotiate the responsibilities.
Right.
Okay. So we hadn't done that yet, and I was like still giving her a bath all the time. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I the only person giving her? Why am I the only person giving her a bath? We need to fix this, okay?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. So yeah, sometimes you just have to, you have to flow.
So I've been giving her a bath for like the last 3 years.
Mine
basically.
like water. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
2 years.
What?
Because then mama started driving. Okay. I had an hour commute to work and an hour commute home, and I would get home at like 7:30. So daddy time to make dinner, daddy time to get the little one together because now I'm carrying your second seed. So, daddy got to do this because mama can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now we're in another season where I have decided to stay at home and take care of the children, but that doesn't mean that Jason doesn't do any housework. He washes the dishes. I guess that's like the only thing that you do though. Like
I do all types of stuff.
Well,
But,
I'm talking about
credit
house. You see? Oh, I'm sorry. I hurt your little ego or whatever. Jason, let me clap for you. Let's do the claps.
Thank
Let's
you.
do the claps. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
You are doing such a good job, Jason.
Thank you.
You do so much for this family.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate you, and we love you.
Thank you.
So yes, definitely men, they need a lot of encouragement. Don't mean to be like doing like a gender sort of statement, but that's definitely been my experience for sure. I'm like, oh, let me tell him he's doing a great job, even though I did like 10 things, pertaining to the kids today.
Right.
And I don't get, thank you constantly.
Mm-hmm.
As you do a good job at thanking me and telling me you appreciate me, but
For sure.
I feel like y'all need more.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Baby.
Yeah. Because I was watching the show and they was just talking about the double standards between men and women. Like when people see a dad in the grocery store with their kids, they like high-fiving them, giving them a parade. Like, oh, you're such a great dad because you came to the grocery store with your child.
Yeah.
But mama got to do that every day. Mama got to do that once a week. She's at the grocery store with her kids.
Yeah, but y'all are nurturers, and it's easier for you guys. Like it flows better.
Jason, when you gonna stop saying that? You just really believe that, and I always tell you that is not the case.
So y'all are not nurturers?
I do believe that.
Oh.
I believe that we are nurturing, but you are just as capable of being nurturing.
But y'all are natural nurturers, right?
I don't know.
Oh, no, you don't want to be.
I don't know. We
All
don't know. We don't know if
No,
it's
we do
naturally
know.
us or it's something that
It's
society
natural.
Whatever. So you're not nurturing to your children?
I am.
Okay.
But you're naturally nurturing. So when you're a natural at something, that means it's easier and most likely you're better. You know what I'm saying? Like you have raw fighters, right?
Mhm.
They just a natural at fighting, but once they get that technique down, they become even better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just a natural.
I guess. Whatever. But I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
I do not have anything else. I just, just be patient, man, and take your time. You don't have to be too afraid, but be afraid. Because your life will change forever. It will never
be afraid.
It'll never be the same. You're gonna, even when they grow up, you're gonna be worried about them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I already know how I was, so I know Isaiah's the one that's gonna be all over the place.
Man, he's
like
just
what
a
it
social
is.
butterfly. Yeah. It was so funny. I don't know if we could talk about this. You can cut this out if you need to. But one of your friends that don't have children was saying that they were babysitting, him and his wife were babysitting some kids, and he was like, they wanted to play with him. They wanted to play with him, right?
Yeah.
And he was just like confused. I'm like, yeah, kids want to play with you.
Right.
So,
you talking about James?
Yes.
Shout out to James and Didi.
Right. It's like, yeah, that's what they do, is because he thought maybe they were just going to play with each other. Then, he's used to having I think it was a Sunday. He used to having his Sunday to himself and, chill time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like the kids.
Laying in the bed all day and stuff. Nah, that's a wrap.
Yeah, he said the kids wanted to play with him. Yeah, that's what they want to play with you. Yeah. You're their playmate.
Yeah. You gotta get down in the dirty.
But that's fun though. It's like you just got to have a positive mindset about it. It's like, yeah, they do want to play with me. Sometimes it's irritating, and sometimes you just have to tell them, now I can't play with you. But you want to play with your kids.
Right.
Like that keep you young. It's fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're about to establish family game night on Sunday nights. By the way,
that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about to be.
Oh wow.
We're gonna have family dinners on Sunday night, and we're gonna have family game night on.
Well, get ready to get your butt whooped, because I ain't gonna take it easy on none of y'all.
But yeah, I just think it's fun. I definitely laugh every day. I smile multiple times a day. I'm happy multiple times a day. And I'm stressed multiple times a day.
Oh, yeah.
But,
it's worth it.
It's worth it. That's what all parents say.
It is what it is.
You just can't imagine your life without them.
So, I hope you guys been taking some good notes and
go ahead and say copious. You wanted to say copious.
I'm gonna say notes because you're a hater.
Oh, it's okay, honey. I don't mean to throw salt on you.
No,
you can say copious notes.
I hope y'all been taking some good notes.
Copious notes.
Because I have some haters around.
Aww.
And that's
love you.
Typical. But I just want you guys to know that there's life after kids, and I know once our kids get out the house, we're gonna be gone. Tony, what I call it. Well,
we gone now. You don't have to. You don't have to like stop traveling.
It's
and stuff.
Different type of gone though.
Okay,
like we gonna be out the country.
Well, we already been out the country
for months.
Oh well, we didn't go out the country. We went to Hawaii, but
yeah, we're gonna be out the country for months.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be like that.
We can still go out of the country for months if we wanted to.
I don't know
with
how.
Kids.
Well, in summer.
Yeah, or you can homeschool your kids.
Yeah, maybe so.
You can create whatever life you want. You don't have to be, we can't do this and do that, but just because we got kids. You can do whatever you want.
But it also costs more though with kids.
But you can do it.
Yeah. So, whatever.
Set your mind to it and just do it.
Just do it.
Like Nike.
All right. So, that's it for our particular episode for this week. Married with Children, Love and Marriage. So, have kids, have fun, and be merry, and just watch your love grow.
That's right.
That's right. So, we're going to catch y'all next time. Same time, same place. We'll see y'all next time.
What about your little phrase?
Love, peace, and progression. You're a hater, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Aw. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason.
Yep. Love, peace, and progression, y'all. Peace out.
You've been listening to the Loveology podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.